Welcome back, lifers. Gotta be honest with you, we've had really had plans for the last couple days to get this thing out on the water and do a serious test drive, but it's not working out in our favor. Our little weather radio downstairs has been blinking on and off like continuously over the last 2 days of warning, warning, warning. Yesterday, around high tide, well, maybe about 45 minutes to an hour earlier, we got hammered. Jeez. It was like nothing, too. I mean, all day long I'm watching radar. All of it's like 50 miles away. And I'm thinking all day long, yeah, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And I was really tempted. I mean, I was right there thinking, you know, high tide's coming. Even if I can just get in the park, you know, if they'll let me in, because we know a lot of people over there. It doesn't matter what time you leave. I mean, that's the nice thing about this park. I mean, they have gates that open and let you out. So if you show up at 11:30 at night, you're on your way out. Where other parks I've been to, I've been locked in overnight. And that begins with an F word. Then you got to account for, you know, schedules. Like, you know, Assistant Jack, he's got his schedule. And this is not like I can just like go down there and drop it myself. You know, just getting it off the trailer, somebody's got to be holding a dock line while you bump it off, because it does tend to stay until you actually just, and it's the slightest bump too. It's the weirdest thing. I had the truck in the water so deep that the actual exhaust was underwater, and it was going blah 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 the whole time. And I tried my ass off to push that thing off, and it wouldn't budge. I got in the truck, I drove forward a foot, let it roll back a foot, tapped the brakes, and Jack said, "Good," and it scoots right off. I mean, it's like, it's insane. So with that news, there's really not much I can do at the moment. I mean, I'm pretty set on where I want to do a test drive at, and we reached those goals. I need to get out and burn some petrol, but I don't need to run into a sea squall at the same time. I mean, there's no reason for that. And as I said, so probably doing something a little different today. Let's see what we can get into. So as I've said before, I can always resort back to the list for a project whenever one is needed. Trust me, I've got enough of them. I mean, even the seal over here, which is not leaking, so we're not going to talk about that. But everything on the list is pretty extensive. I mean, coal tar, the 19's gas tank, I mean, it's already a bit cloudy out after the last 2 minutes. There is one over here, the Biesemeyer gas gauge. Yes. We can go look at that. I also have a filter I need to replace in the Biesemeyer that finally came in. It's only like 100 days late, but it finally showed up, so let's go do something with that. Yuck. We're just realizing that we haven't done anything yet with the Biesemeyer except for what we're doing now. Don't rain on us, big black cloud. Don't rain on us. Alright, we got the top off, and like I said, it's been so wet that even some of the mold from the top over there is actually transferred to the boat this time, which is just beyond icky to me. New top's on order. It should be here in a couple days at most. And it just kind of dawned on us that, you know, we've done all this work on the Biesemeyer, but we really didn't do anything at all to the Biesemeyer. You know, we took the carburetor off, took it in Shantytown, totally disassembled it. I mean, I guess you can say that, yeah, we put it back together and made sure it was cleaned out and all that good stuff. But that was pretty much the extent of it. I mean, I haven't even de-winterized yet. So I got a couple things I can do at the moment. And I think I'm going to go for the low-hanging fruit until that big black cloud passes. So we're going to put some plugs back in, get our hose back on. I still don't understand people who, I mean, if you got a closed cooling system, I understand if you use an antifreeze or something like that. But I flush every time I go out, and I was told by a guy from Alaska one time, I asked him, I was like, hey, and I'm probably sure I've told this story before, but I asked this guy, and I was like, hey, what do you guys use up there? What's the antifreeze, you know, what's the mixture, or whatever. And he just point blank told me, it's like, air don't freeze. So now I just drain them, but I also make sure I drain everything by making sure the water pump has an escape. Both block drains are out. Both drains are out for the manifolds. Yeah, I just got to put this thing back together. And then I got to get out here with a Brillo pad and a bunch of scrub brushes and a whole bunch of other stuff. But I don't think that's going to happen today. One of the things I noticed when I did the carburetor here is the air cleaner was in insanely bad shape. And I mean insanely bad. Not only was the air cleaner in bad shape, but so isn't the air horn for the cleaner. And that's unacceptable. All that crap's going to fly past there. So I need to fix this up. And I need to replace this with this. Bit of a difference. Maybe it'll breathe a little better. It's pretty funny how time plays tricks on you. After leaving this sit out here for like a couple days, I was already imagining like there was huge stalagmites and stalactites hanging off of here and just ready to fall in the motor and like make a piston lock up solid. I mean, it probably would have passed everything, but why would I ever want to put this inside of a motor? So I'm just going to get the rust off of this guy, and I'm going to have to repaint this guy. Alright, got another coat on our air horn for our breather. Took the lid inside and scrubbed it all out also with a Brillo pad to make sure everything was off of it. A little hard to see, but maybe you can see. And the reason we have a lid is one of the reasons why this air cleaner looks like it does. Where most people have like scoops and all kinds of stuff up here, I mean like blowers and the whole 9 yards. We found that we were taking so much water over the bow at some points that we were actually killing the motor. So we kind of put this umbrella over top of it with that 496 or 454 blue water lid or whatever it was. We just kind of modified it to match the boat, and it seemed to work. So we'd much rather go with a scoop, and we've made some major changes to the Biese since that last ride. We've taken the center fin out, which we really felt like it made it bow steer real bad, and replaced it with 2 side fins on each sponson. So that's going to make a big difference, and we're hoping that we don't take nearly as much water over top of the bow like we used to, but that's yet to be proven. So while we're waiting for our paint to dry, we might as well go ahead and get the rest of this stuff done. We got some plugs to put in and some hoses to put on. That's the different things about this boat. We actually run water-cooled exhaust. I mean, a lot of people do over the headers and stuff, but this boat was actually designed for it. The cool thing about the Biese here is the fact that you got these fittings, and they usually take these hoses and they go straight in like that. But the way you drain the manifolds is you just spin them upside down and everything comes out, because that's a dry joint up there, so you can't get it out no matter what. But the really awesome thing about having such a low exhaust is the fact that no matter what, even if these things were broken and they were just leaking water, it's not going up in the motor. Now, having a low exhaust does have its drawbacks. Like a 2-inch wake hitting it from the rear, that can be dangerous. Now, I've been preaching these things here since day one of race boat life. And it's just as simple as a 1/4-inch piece of all thread with a union on it. And I will take my brass plug and I'll plug it into this. That way you're not driving anything in and out of the block, which tends to make the threads disappear over time because of cross threading and all kinds of different stuff. And you end up with bad drop block drains. So if you're wanting to do this, I would recommend that you would do this. Yeah, those are raindrops. We were almost in an emergency evac there a second ago. So let's get this hose on real fast in case it does decide to let loose on us. One thing it does have us a bit concerned are these two plates. And they are 60 plus years old, but the ends of them are turning to dust. I think this is the last year I'm going to deal with these. And there's real metal there, but I mean even this one back here. The scary thing is, it's for the steering. So yes, this is going to be a priority. The only problem is you're not getting to the rear plate without taking the motor out, and you're definitely not getting to that one down there without taking the motor out, because the motor mounts actually are part of it. But that holds the strut and the rudder. So yeah, we're going to have to make a priority on this. Yeah, this is getting pretty bad. Oh well, this last couple more months, and we'll have to replace this next spring. Put it on the top of the list, because this is unacceptable. I chipped out about as much as I dare to. It's going to have to last another year. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it's almost 3/8 inch of a piece of aluminum, and it's only lost about a quarter of that. So, and it's about 3 times stronger than it probably really needs to be. We're just going to let it go for now, and I don't know. And while we're at it, we measured everything up, so we know what we have. We'll have to get a couple plates. They look real simple to cut out, except for the fact that the motor's in the way to get to them. Don't really understand the whole deal either, because these plates here, the front motor plate's aluminum, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it has the same steel making contact with it. I thought maybe there was some kind of, like, I don't know, whatever going on, but again, we're talking about 1959 aluminum. I mean, they were still drinking out of steel beer cans back then. Still tacky. It's been like 2 hours. Well, maybe it's me, because I did spend a long time over there touch-up painting the motor and the trans. Just needed to. I couldn't leave it like that. But it is so humid out right now. What the hell? That was a cool one. That one was red. Wow. But either way, I got to get the air cleaner back on, because it's already after 8 o'clock and my pizza just showed up. So we're going to take our slightly tacky air horn and put it back on. And I'm going to grab me a nice new air filter here. Throw it on. Oh, and it fits so nice. And then I'm going to grab the cover. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. So then I'm going to grab the cover here and put it on with one hand, because that's a special feat only I can enjoy. And lock her down. Yeah, I'm thinking it's all set there. That's awesome. I mean, I'm gonna have to do some more touch up. I know that. And I just wanted to get like some of the bulk stuff done. And it looks a hell of a lot better already. You know, I mean, once I scrub things off, well, my air cover's a little crooked here. But it does look a lot better. But it ain't gonna be much for this race boat because it's so damn small. It has single motor. Should be ready to go. I had it fired up and ready to go last fall. Just never got a chance to take it out because it just got too crappy. But I gotta put this thing away now because, like I said, I got a pizza ready to go. Hey, if you don't like this video, then you hate puppies and kittens. And if you don't subscribe to our channel, we ain't got words for you. Hit them buttons. The muffler was on yeah. And that's what leads us to, oh, that sucked. One of the first things, no, wait a second. Why did I jump right on the click? It's not drag racing. And here's a bag of hose clamps that conveniently left behind. Alright, start again on another film, another version. Paint to dry over there, and this motorcycle to go by. We'll have to split that in because we didn't hear a word. Love our bikes, just not during filming. So, you know, I'm searching for content. Oh, here it is. I don't know, maybe I'll grease the slides. Who knows? I mean, I could just tilt it all the way up and all of these would drain right out anyway because this is actually a wet joint between the two. Oh no, it's not. So I just screwed that all up, didn't I?